You want to farm Sims? You're going to need something like this. So, you want to be the next Pokimane? Well, there are a couple things you're going to need to be the next Pokimane. First, you gotta be quite attractive. Second, you gotta work your ass off. You gotta be pretty hardworking because she streams like crazy. And third, you're gonna need one of these. Don't worry, it's only $10 to $5 from a online Chinese retailer, and it is the key to giving you high video stream quality. This is a HDMI video capture card, essentially a Elgato Cam Link, but it's super cheap and super easy to use. And let's just talk all about why this is essential in today's world of streaming, Zoom calls, and all that. Before I start this video, if you have any questions you want to ask, linked in the description is my Discord and Instagram. You can ask all your questions there, no problem. I reply to everything. The comments too, that works. So let's talk about this little capture card thing right here. Why does it matter? Well, because it gives you very high quality streams. It turns your semi-decent camera into a high-quality webcam, which you can use very easily in software for streaming, for Zoom calls. And in a world where how you look really matters, as much as we might not like to admit it, this is very essential. So if you are someone who is trying to build a Twitch stream, how you look really matters. Because it tells people whether you're professional. It tells people, whether you look good. Like if you look good, your whole shtick, bonus of your stream is how you look, right? Now, I'm not dishing or hating on people who use their looks to succeed in life. It is a genetic gift, and if you don't use the gift that you're given, you are stupid. But if you look good, you definitely want to show that. Take advantage of that to grow your stream. And if you say doing a Zoom call, having a good stream is almost the equivalent of wearing a nice suit to it. It's a good first impression because you look good, you sound good, and when your mic and video quality is clear and crisp, everybody in a Zoom call kind of has to default to listening to you just because you sound good. You get me? Like it or not, we live in a world of appearances, of attractiveness. Keeping how you look good is important. Making an effort to make yourself look decent is actually quite important. Now, I'm not saying be vain and obsessed or anything. I'm just saying if you look good and you want to succeed off your looks, you need to make yourself look good. You need to show it off. And just for the average person to leave a good first impression, you need to also care about your appearances. It's just true. People with better physical attractiveness tend to get easier job promotions, get paid better, get easier job interviews. They look a bit more friendly because they look more attractive. Things like that all exist. This is not necessarily completely true, but there are statistics to back it up. So it's kind of like in the air, exactly. But if you look around you as you grow up and become an adult, you start to realize, yeah, if you look better, you definitely have an easier life. But there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, it's a gift. And I think it's stupid if someone got a gift and didn't use it. So let's talk about this actual capture card thingy. Enough about philosophy, enough about society. We truly live in a society. But enough about that. Let's talk about this capture card. So what does it do? It basically turns your camera's output, the HDMI output that your camera might or might not have, into a high quality webcam stream that your computer can easily understand and process, and it recognizes as a webcam. Using this is super simple. You just plug this in, plug an HDMI cable into this, and plug an HDMI cable into a camera that works with it, and boom, you have a webcam that is basically your camera's live feed, which is awesome. You open up your streaming software like OBS, or you open up your Zoom software, and you can set that webcam feed as your main feed, and now you have a full quality, high quality camera. Is it that hard? No, it's really not that hard. You just plug it in and you'll be good to go. But there are a couple prerequisites. As I said before, you need to know whether your camera is able to be used with this. And there are a few requirements. First, super important thing is it needs to have a clean HDMI out. So what basically needs to happen is that it needs to have a HDMI output that is high quality and also clean. Clean means it doesn't have all those random settings on the screen. When you use a camera, you've got all these settings and indicators on the screen telling you shutter speed, ISO, and all that stuff. You don't want that to appear on your stream, so you need to be able to output an HDMI feed that has nothing on it but the video signal. And also a clean HDMI output means no interlacing or no interlacing of the feed. Like what you see on the feed is what you get from the camera sensor. It's just a live, high quality video feed. Because if you get a signal that's interlaced, or it's actually low res but upscaled, At the end of the day, there's like no point to actually using it then, because it just kind of defeats the purpose. You're going to get a low quality stream either way. And another thing that you want to look out for is definitely your camera needs to have good image quality from the get-go, obviously. If not, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of everything. Now you've got that out of the way, how do you turn it into a streaming setup? Well, for one, you definitely want to light your streaming setup properly, like get a decent video light, or use the sun, or use a secondary monitor and set it to like a white, not widescreen, so that it kind of gives soft illumination of your face. If you want to look good, you need to softly light your face, just like I am doing right now with this little light right here. You can buy a cheap LED panel of decent quality. My recommendation is is Nanguang, as one of those brands. It's really cheap and good. Clonk it out, plug it in, and you have a soft light on your face. So that's the first thing you want. You want to light your scene well, because good lighting is honestly more important than a good camera. Number two, you want to get something like a dummy battery for the camera that you have already. Obviously, if you don't have a camera, go get it. What you want is a dummy battery, or if your camera is able to be powered off of USB, power it off of USB, because you don't want to be swapping batteries in the middle of the stream. You don't want your camera to kind of cut out in the middle of the stream. You want it to last for a good long time. So a dummy battery basically allows you to not power it off a battery power. It basically adapts these pins on your battery and allows you to plug it into the wall, which is awesome, which is great. It's great for being able to power your camera definitely infinitely or never ending, whatever. My English sucks, but you can basically power it off indefinitely if you have a dummy battery. The next thing is you need to get a HDMI cable that's right for you. The right length. So if it's a micro HDMI connector on your camera, which it most likely is because you've got a cheap camera, then just plug it in and plug it into the HDMI video capture card, then plug your capture card into your computer. Now on the camera itself, there are a couple settings you need to watch out for. You definitely want to turn off auto power off, so that the camera doesn't power off halfway through your stream. So you want it, if you want it leaving indefinitely, leave auto power off in the settings. Another thing is you definitely want to turn on your clean HDMI output. Now, obviously, if you did your due diligence in terms of research, you will find out whether your camera has a clean HDMI output, and you can usually turn it on in settings, or there's usually a button to hide everything on the screen that usually says info or display, like DISP, and that will tell you, all the things, will help you hide it and give you a clean HDMI. Now you've done all of that, you're ready to stream. Plug it in and your webcam is instantly recognized. Now to set it up in OBS, it's really simple. You just click add video feed, look for HD webcam capture or HD webcam, and then you just add that as your video feed, resize it to whatever size you want, and boom, you've got a streaming setup. Good to go. Now, this is obviously not at all. The final thing that you actually really need to do is you want to mount this on some sort of mini tripod, some sort of desktop tripod. You can't just leave it on a little box. I mean, you could use a box that's tall enough, but you definitely want to mount it somewhere where it looks flattering on you. You don't want your camera pointing up from the bottom, unless you're Chris Hemsworth, where any angle you point yourself with, the camera looks good. You don't want your camera to be pointing up here. You want to be pointing about here, about eye level, about cheekbone level, or slightly higher if you want to hide any sort of chin fats. Here's a little tip for you. So there are a couple ways to kind of set up your camera, but you generally want to be setting up your camera in a nice kind of flattering angle, not from below, and definitely not head on as well, because head on doesn't look that good for most people, unless you look good from the angle. I wouldn't know. Everyone's a bit different. That's it for setting it up, and boom, you have an instant high quality stream that frankly wasn't that much effort, because chances are you already have a camera with a good clean HDMI out and decent image. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video off here. I hope you guys found this helpful or interesting somewhat. I hope you guys like the chat at the start about how appearances really matter in our world. I thought that would be pretty interesting to leave in. Thank you guys so much for watching though. I'll see you guys in the next video, which hopefully is tomorrow. A bit struggling with the daily upload a little bit, just the lack of sleep. Something happened, so my sleep cycle was all out of whack. Things are kind of getting back into usual now, so you can expect next week to have a daily upload. Fingers crossed and nothing happens. I'll end this video off here though. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Like and subscribe, all that usual YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.